Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. No matter where your day finds you, welcome to Wisconsin's Alcohol, Beverage, and Operation Laws discussion. The primary objectives associated with this discussion are to expose learners to the actual Wisconsin state statutes that are the foundation for this course. Number two, highlight the primary purpose/focus of each statute. Encourage learners to use the appropriate resources now and in the future as questions and situations arise with their employment. Enjoy the discussion. To begin our greater discussion of licenses, we will focus on Statute 125.25, Class A licenses. Every municipal governing body may issue Class A licenses for the sale of fermented malt beverages from premises within the municipality. A Class A license authorizes retail sales of fermented malt beverages for consumption off the premises where sold and in an original packages, containers, and bottles. A Class A license also authorizes the licensee to provide free of charge to customers and visitors who have attained the legal drinking age fermented malted beverages taste samples that are not in the original packages, containers, or bottles, and that do not exceed 3 fluid ounces each for consumption on the Class A premises. Statute 125.26, Class B licenses. Every municipality governing body may issue Class B licenses for the sale of fermented malt beverages from premises within the municipality and may authorize an official or body of the municipality to issue temporary B licenses. A Class B license authorizes retail sales of fermented malt beverages to be consumed either on the premises where sold or off the premises. Greater discussion of licenses continued. Statute 125.51, Retail Licenses and Permits. 1A, Municipal Authority to Issue. Every municipal governing body may grant and issue Class A and Class B licenses for retail sales of intoxicating liquor and Class C licenses for retail sales of wine from premises within the municipality to persons entitled to a license. B, no member of the municipal governing body may hold a permit. And C is a review of the rules regarding how the municipal governing body should conduct itself. And lastly, the governing body of a first-class city shall establish and publish notice of the dates on which it or its duly authorized committee will meet and act on license applications. Greater discussion of licenses continued. 10A, temporary licenses. Temporary Class B licenses may be issued to bona fide clubs and chambers of commerce, to county or local fair associations or agricultural societies, to churches, lodges, or societies that have been in existence for at least 6 months before the date of application, and to posts of veteran organization. B, rules relating to the issuing of temporary licenses. For example, 1, a municipality may issue up to 20 licenses to the same licensee if all the following apply. 2, the duration of an event may not exceed 1 day. 3, for the purpose of a 2 license limit imposed, each event for which multiple licenses are issued are provided shall count on 1 license towards 2 license limit. And 4, a municipal governing body or an official or body authorized by municipal governing body to issue temporary Class B license may, upon issuance of a temporary Class B license as provided, authorize the license to permit underage persons to be on the licensed premises for the purpose of acting as designated drivers. Recent law changes discussion. Statute 125.06. License and permit exceptions. The manufacture of wine or fermented malt beverages by any person at a business primarily engaged in selling supplies and equipment for use by home brewers or home winemakers. The tasting at the business of wine or fermented malt beverages so manufactured. If the wine or fermented malt beverages are not sold or offered for sale, wine or fermented malt beverages provided at the business for tasting may only be provided by a person who holds an operator license issued under 125.17. Statute 125.32, General Restrictions and Requirements. No other business may be conducted on premises operating under a Class B license or permit. These restrictions do not apply to any of the following. For example, a hotel, a restaurant, a combination of grocery store and tavern. Recent law changes discussion continued. Statute 125.51, Retail License and Permits. 10A, Temporary Licenses. This was discussed previously. 125.04, General Licensing Requirements. 10A and B, License and Permit Framed Posted. Frame. Permits for the retail sale of alcohol beverages and licenses for the sale of alcohol beverages shall be enclosed in a frame having a transparent front which allows the license or permit to be clearly read. Display. All permits and licenses under Par A, other than those for the sale of fermented malt beverages for consumption on the premises, issued to the state fair or to county or district fairs receiving state aid, shall be conspicuously displayed for public inspection at all times in the room or place where the activity subject to a permit or license is carried on. Discussion on regular closing hours. Statute 125.32(3), General Restrictions and Requirements. For summary purposes, Class B license or permit cannot remain open between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. except Saturday and Sunday, 2:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. Daylight saving time, 3:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. January 1st or New Year's Eve are not required to close. Sale in an original package, container, or bottle, or for the consumption away from premises is forbidden between 12 midnight and 6 a.m. Hotels and restaurants, the principal business of which is the furnishing of food and lodging, may stay open for business but must follow the sales times above. Class A premises cannot sell fermented malt beverages between 12 midnight and 6 a.m. Municipal ordinances may have different rules. A municipality may, by ordinance, impose more restrictive hours. Statute 125.68(4), General Restrictions and Requirements. Closing hours. Wholesalers. No premises for which a wholesale intoxicating liquor permit has been issued may remain open for the sale of intoxicating liquor between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 a.m. Except on Saturday, the premises may remain open till 9 p.m. Class A retailers. No premises for which a Class A license or permit has been issued may remain open for the sale of intoxicating liquor between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. A municipality may, by ordinance, impose more restrictive hours than those provided. Class B and Class C retailers. No premises for which a Class B license or permit or a Class C's license has been issued may remain open between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. except on January 1st, premises operating under Class B license or permit are not required to close. On Saturday and Sunday, no premises may remain open between 2:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. except that on the Sunday that daylight savings time begins, no premises may remain open between 3:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. Between 12 midnight and 6 a.m., no person may sell intoxicating liquor, Class B licensed premises, in an original unopened package, container, or bottle, or for consumption away from the premises, or on a Class C licensed premises. A municipal governing body may, by ordinance, impose more restrictive hours. Hotels and restaurants, the principal business of which is the furnishing of food, drinks, and lodging to patrons, etc., may conduct their regular business, but may not sell intoxicating liquor during the closing hours discussed previously. What constitutes a sale and seller's permit? Discussion. Statute 125.02 definitions. Sell, sold, sale, or selling means any transfer of alcoholic beverages, legal or not. Statute 139.01 definitions. Sell, sold, or sale or selling includes the transfer, gift, barter, trade, or exchange of intoxicating liquor or fermented malt beverages. What constitutes a sale and seller's permit? Discussion continued. Statute 77.52 imposition of the retail sales tax. For the privilege of selling, licensing, leasing, rent, or renting tangible personal property at retail, a tax is imposed upon all retailers at the rate of 5% of the sales price from the sales, license, lease, or rental of tangible personal property sold, licensed, leased, or rented at retail in the state of Wisconsin. Statute 77.61 administrative provisions. Any city, village, or town clerk or other official whose duty it is to issue licenses or permits to engage in business involving the sale at retail of tangible personal property or items, property, or goods, or the furnishing of services so subject to tax shall, before issuing such license or permit, require proof that the person to whom such license or permit is to be issued is the holder of a seller's permit or use tax registration certificate, is registered to collect, report, and remit use tax. What constitutes a sale and seller's permit? Discussion continued. Statute 73.03 powers and duties defined. 50. Business tax registration certificate. If the person who wishes to obtain or renew a certificate, he or she must do all of the following: A, B, C, and D as listed below. What constitutes a sale and seller's permit? Discussion continued. Statute 125.02 definitions. Fermented malt beverages. To summarize, 0.05% or more of alcohol by volume. The requirement to preserve records that may be part of that inspection. Statute 139.11 records and reports. Every person who manufactures, rectifies, distributes, imports, transports, stores, warehouses, or sells intoxicating liquor or fermented malt beverages shall keep complete and accurate records of all such liquor or malt beverages purchased, sold, manufactured, rectified, brewed, fermented, distilled, produced, stored, warehoused, imported, or transported within this state. Such records shall be of a kind and in the form prescribed by the Secretary, and shall be safely preserved to ensure accessibility for inspection by the Secretary. A person required to keep records under this subsection may keep such records in electronic form only. The transfer of alcohol beverage stock. Tax 7.01. Purchases and invoices. 6A. No licensed retailer may transfer his or her sealed fermented malt beverage stock upon selling or liquidating the business without first completing a written inventory listing the entire stock to be transferred. A copy of the inventory listing shall be retained on the licensed premises for 2 years from the date of transfer and shall be made available for inspection at all reasonable times by representatives of the Department of Revenue. B. A licensed retailer may sell his or her entire sealed fermented malt beverage stock in a liquidating transaction to any other licensed retailer, provided the conditions in A above are met. Tax 8.81, transfer of retail liquor stock. No licensed retailer shall transfer his or her intoxicating liquor stock upon selling or liquidating the business without first completing a stock transfer form listing an inventory of the entire stock to be transferred. One copy is to be retained by the seller. The other copy shall be retained by the buyer on the licensed premises and be available for inspection at all times by a representative of the department. 2. A licensed retailer may sell his or her entire sealed stock in a liquidating transaction to any other licensed retailer, providing the conditions in 1 above are met. The discussion is concluded. Please close and return to the learning page. Good luck with the rest of your learning.